Blackstone, one of the world's largest investment firms, just called AI the next industrial revolution. Not crypto, not the metaverse, AI. And when a company that's managing over $1 trillion says something like that, you got to listen to it. Okay. Like, you can't afford to not listen to it, because most of the time they're only saying this stuff behind closed doors, which it was. And you don't get the information as a small business until a couple of years down the line, after they done made goo gobs of money. And now they're saying, all right, you know what? Roll the curtain back for all the rest of the small businesses and let them know what we've been doing with the top ones that's working. And you're miles behind after they went all the way down the money runway to the money train, right? And so since we're getting this information now, when they do, we need to listen up, because this is not just like a future trend, like, oh, okay, this may happen, it may fall off. Like, no, this is happening right now, and it's already here. So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly what Blackstone's executives are saying, and more importantly, why it matters to you, the small business owner. But first, what's going on? I'm Trey, your favorite cousin on your mama's side, and I'm also an AI implementation consultant here at Quantum Bridge Systems. We do work with small and mid-sized businesses to make AI practical. All right, so less hype and more clarity. All right, so whether it's marketing automations, smart automations, or just better customer service, my job is to help you win back that time and scale without all the tech headaches. All right. Now, we're supported by over 200 plus tech providers. So our unbiased approach is designed to help our clients find the best tech solutions that works for their business. So that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into this video and see Blackstone. All right. They're talking to the top 100 global investors, and this is our peek behind the curtain. So let's go ahead and take a look.
I'm enthusiastic. We're enthusiastic. What is the main thing? It is AI. This is the big thing. And why is it the big thing? Because it's starting with this massive investment boom, which we'll talk about, which provides the foundation for the technology, and then the AI itself, which we believe is going to create an enormous productivity boom. That's what's coming. And you shouldn't just take my word for it. These are the leaders of the biggest tech companies in the world. My personal favorite comes from Jensen, who was our speaker last year, who said, a new industrial revolution has started. And we certainly...
And I do believe that as well. Like, when you talk about a new industrial revolution, personally, now you may disagree, but I believe that maybe the fourth industrial revolution was the digitalization of industries, right? So bringing industries online. And now we have another one here, and that's AI. And so I totally agree that this is, with Jensen, this is definitely an industrial revolution.
Only subscribe to that. So what was the Sputnik moment that got this started? Obviously, it was the launch of ChatGPT. In less than 2 years, it got to 700 million customers, the fastest of any consumer product in history. Now, have we ever experienced anything like this before, where the world changed dramatically? I don't think at this scale, but we do have something that is a bit of precedence. Go back to 1989, 94. I was in college and then a couple of years working. If you go back then, productivity cumulatively over those 5 years was growing just 4%, less than 1% a year. The stock market did okay, it grew 9.5% a year, but the Fed had cut rates by 300 basis points during that point. But then something very powerful happened. I love that. You guys remember dialing up AOL, the first internet service provider, getting to Netscape, the main browser at the time. And dramatic things happened in the second half of that decade. You saw a threefold increase in productivity to 11% here, and you saw the stock market grow fivefold, 251%. I am not advocating that's what's coming in the stock market. Multiples today are much higher than they were in 1994. But it gives you a sense of the power of a productivity boom and what it can mean for companies and values and growth. Now, things did get a little ugly at the end, as you remember in 2000. Pets.com, some business models that didn't make sense. And this is the big risk. The big risk is as this technology takes hold, as we all get more enthusiastic, excesses will build up. And we've got to be thinking about those as we're deploying capital. Now, the question today is AI beginning to have an impact? And this study just came out a couple weeks ago from Stanford. And I think it's starting to show the early impact of AI. It starts here with two, I'll call it AI unaffected sectors, stock clerks and health aides. And it has cohorts, early 20s and people in their 40s. And if you look in stock clerks, basically their growth in employment is roughly the same. And if you look in health aides, actually there's more hiring of young people than people who are more experienced. So AI here, no impact. But now let's look at a couple other sectors. Software developers. Look what's happening to that orange lines for 22 to 25-year-olds. Something dramatic, a Claude code effect. Early programmers are being displaced, it appears. And by the way, the same story with customer service agents. As AI gets better answering phones, answering questions, more and more technology taking over for people. It feels like it is very early days here. So, how is this impacting us here at Blackstone? Well, we just did a commercial called Eureka about the gold rush in San Francisco or in Northern California in 1849. It's about a couple of clever gold miners who decide instead of looking for gold, they're going to sell picks and shovels. Of course, it's a metaphor about digital and energy infrastructure. Let's take a look.
We finally made it. Now let's go get that gold.
Anyway, it's a little cut of that. I want to show you the second version we have of this.
We finally made it.
Let's go get that gold.
Now, what's the difference between these two ads? This one was filmed outside of Vancouver. We flew a bunch of people up, hotel rooms, cast and crew, all of those things. Took a lot of time to make, film editing. It cost $1 million to make. Good ad. The one on the left is not quite as good yet. It was made on the 8th floor here with two guys in a couple hours. And you think about the cost of this, a lot less. And you think about how this.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know about y'all. I actually liked the AI one. I thought it was pretty good. They have to say that it's not as good, right? Because they spent $1 million on it. But to me personally, I think that second one was just as good or better. Let's see. I think it's almost done, but let's see.
Will work its way through the economy and businesses. It's pretty extraordinary. So how do we invest around this generational change? That is the key question.
Yeah. So that was it on that one, on what I was looking to talk about here. But yeah, I like I said, I like that second one. But as you see, this stuff is crazy. And Blackstone, what they ended up saying was he called it a Sputnik moment. And that's basically investor code for move fast or get left in the dust. That's literally what that means. Okay. And, you know, if we go back to the 90s, like before the internet, like he said, right, business was slower. And then you had post-internet, and then productivity exploded. And so those companies and businesses that adopted early thrived. The people who didn't are gone. They're no longer in existence. And so, and AI is that moment again, right? And so, like he mentioned, ChatGPT, 700 million users in under 2 years. That's crazy. That's crazy fast. You know, and if you're not using ChatGPT right now as a business owner, because you think you don't need it, or because you think it's too much, or, you know, you're good, hey, that's step one. And so if you're not using it right now, you better believe your competitors are, and you're behind that 8 ball right now. And so that's what we're trying to prevent here. And, you know, here's the real problem. Like right now, you're watching this revolution unfold while you're waiting to understand it a little better, right? That's what you're telling yourself. But instead, you should be doing what you do best, which is whatever your business is. And then letting the people who, like me, it's my job to understand what's going on right now, what the trends are. And I can come to you with that unbiased approach and share how it can benefit your business and whatever aspect that your business is lacking in, and how to implement AI in that part of the business. Because the longer you wait, the worse it's going to get, or you're going to run out of time, aka money. And meanwhile, your competitors, they're using AI to automate, scale, and grow faster than ever. And you're looking like, well, they must be cheating, or how are they doing this? And they're just using the tools that are put in front of them at the moment. And right now, small business does have the advantage. Okay. So if you're thinking that AI is just for these billion-dollar companies, nope. Like in 2025, 58% of small businesses are using AI. And 82% of those businesses hired more businesses after using it. So AI didn't necessarily cut jobs. It cleared out all the boring ones. Okay. So all those repetitive ones that are just time sucks, but they're necessary to get to the other tasks that are money involved, right? Or closer to the money. And this is what this is allowing you to do, and your team, right? Your team can now do the more meaningful work. And the best part about it is big tech is already spending billions building these tools. So now these tools are getting cheaper than ever, and you can plug that into whatever setup you already have, and it can be also tailored just for you. So as we saw him do that, quick demonstration for that ad that he created, right? Um, Here's a few ways that AI can help your small business right now, and a few of them are actually how we help. Number one, you have customer support, right? AI chatbots that you can add to your website that answer all the FAQs 24/7, right? So that right there can save 30 to 40% of your team's time without having to go back and forth with somebody live, because it's going to know more about the business than the employees, and probably you as the CEO, right? You probably forgotten some of the things, but it knows everything 24/7. Then on the marketing and sales side, like we saw, obviously it can create content, but it can also write content. It can personalize emails and put it in draft, where all you have to do is go, look over it and then press send. It can boost engagement, and it's able to do all of this fairly fast. As far as operational side, you have inventory, delivery, scheduling tools. All of these can also reduce errors by up to 90%. So this is the future talk, right? Like, but at the same time, it's happening right now, and businesses like yours are putting it into use and seeing results. And I already know, listen, there are already a boatload of tools out there, and that's why I'm making this video, because you need to do something, but at the end of the day, you don't know which direction to go in. And that's where my team at Quantum Bridge System can come in. And like I mentioned, we partner with over 200 providers, and we're not just selling you a single tool. Like, we're building a solution around your specific company needs, looking at what you're struggling with or what your company has bottlenecks in, and we're able to match those systems for that. Right. So we don't have to use tech jargon with you and try and talk over your head to do that. We just get results. And let's be clear. Yes, there is hype around AI, right? Like, there are bad investments that you can make, but the biggest risk at the moment is not doing anything right now. So if you know you need to do something right now, make sure you click the first link in the description below, so that we can do a free audit over your business and see where we can implement and how we can help. Because bottom line, yes, there are bad investments that can be made, but that biggest risk is doing nothing. Because while you're waiting, your competitors are using AI to move faster, to serve their clients better, and to get some of that market share from you. And so here's how to start without actually wasting money. Number one, identify the biggest time sucks, right? Is it support? Is it emails, admin? What do you hate doing right now that could be automated? Number two, pick a tool that does solve that one pain, right? So don't try and overthink, just start. And then number 3, track those results. So if AI is saving you 10 hours a month, what is that worth to you? Like, how much money do you make per hour? And then what is that 10 hours worth for you, right? And then you can scale from there. So, by us brokering these deals to be able to partner with over 200 plus vendors, you're not getting the same deals as if you just went directly to that company, right? Directly to Zoom or Sharpen or whoever it is. We have special pricing built in because of the deals that we have. And so that's why you would come to us and do that before you go directly to the company on that, right? Now, look at Blackstone. They're betting billions on AI because it's the next productivity like gold mine. And you can get in on that as well, but only if you act fast enough. Otherwise, you're going to be reacting. And if you're reacting, you're just too late. And all you have to do is look back at companies in the past who had the advantage and had the knowledge up front and then reacted after it was too late. And it was too late, right? So if you want help getting this roadmap for your company, go ahead and click on the link below and let's map out these bottlenecks and see how AI can give your business the competitive edge that you need. And I'll see you in the next one.